Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm here with Jan from the Northern California Parkinson's Association, or the Parkinson's Association of Northern California. And we're going to be talking about resources for people in Northern California living with Parkinson's. So really, I want to start off, Jan, by asking you, what exactly is Parkinson's? How is it caused? How do we know what's happening? Give us kind of the background on Parkinson's.
Parkinson's disease is caused by a part of the brain that produces the dopamine in the brain. Those cells start to die or wear away. So what it causes is it's a movement disorder problem. So it can cause like tremors, stiffness, freezing of gait, stuff like that. But it's also a non-movement disorder. So that can cause like hallucinations, some really interesting thing, like things kind of become small. So writing becomes small, facial expressions can become small, steps can become small, diarrhea. I mean, there's so many different symptoms that come with it. I like to say it's kind of like each individual is unique and they all get different symptoms. So I like to say it's like the box of chocolates, right, from Forrest Gump. You really don't know what you're going to get. So it can be really a multitude of different things that can happen to somebody with Parkinson's disease. What causes it is 20% of it is caused, they say 15 to 20% is caused by genes. And then the rest of it is caused by chemicals, environmental. There can be head trauma, that can be a part of it. Heavy drug use can be part of it. They think that's how Michael J. Fox might have gotten his, was heavy drug use in his early 20s. But primarily it's an environmental disease. It was founded in the 1880s during in England when the Black Fog came in. That's kind of when the first cases started coming about. So the chemicals that are used in our country specifically are trichloroethylene, TCE. It's a dry cleaning solvent. That and paraquat, and that's a herbicide that we use on our fields. So anyway, those are some significant causes of Parkinson's disease. Also, Agent Orange. So we can talk more about those chemicals later if you want. Yeah. So it's 80% environmental. We in the United States have about 14% of the population of the world, and we have 16% of the cases of Parkinson's disease or more, because the chemicals paraquat and TCE are legal in the United States of America and pretty much not anywhere else in the world. So these chemicals are working through the Michael J. Fox Foundation right now, and the EPA is looking at it, and we would really love to ban these chemicals and really hopefully cut down on the amount of cases that are coming up in our country.
Got it. So how many people in Northern California actually have Parkinson's?
Know yet. It can take 10 to 40 years for Parkinson's disease to manifest itself. Like there's just about 100,000 about 100,000 in the country right now that have Parkinson's disease. We don't know. We do, like I said, so many cases aren't diagnosed yet. More and more cases are getting diagnosed every day. Because of the heavy agriculture that we have in Northern California, we're thinking that the numbers here might be higher than the rest of the country, and especially through the Central Valley where so many farm workers are, they're not getting diagnosed. They're not getting the help that they need. So honestly, we don't really know yet. We would love to have those numbers, but they're just not coming in. It's still fairly a new disease in this country as far as like disease states. There's just so much more research and information that needs to continue to come out. So I'd love to give you that number. I don't have it.
So how do you diagnose Parkinson's? Is it a test for it, or is it like symptom-based?
Yeah, no, great question. The Michael J. Fox Foundation just found a biomarker for it. So there is a new test kind of coming out for it. It's really hard to diagnose. One of the early symptoms is lack of smell. But with COVID, that's really interesting, right? Another early symptom can be one of the arms doesn't swing. So when you might see somebody walking and like one arm might be swinging, early thing can be like a little tremor, but that could just be something called essential tremor. It's really hard to get diagnosed. And then the other probably like regular doctors, GPs don't really know. so much of the medical community doesn't even know about Parkinson's disease and what the symptoms are. And there's so few what they're called movement disorder neurologists who diagnose it and they treat it. There's very, 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 very few of them that exist at this time. We're super fortunate in Northern California, especially in the Sacramento Valley region, that we have, gosh, a good 10 to 15 of them, which is pretty unusual for like the rest of everywhere. We're really blessed here that we have a pretty advanced medical system. But yeah, it's really difficult. It's really, go to your doctor and be consistent. And it can take a lot of time to get into a movement disorder specialist. It can take up to 6 months to get into one of these individuals just to be seen. So it's an interesting and a difficult and sometimes frustrating road to finally get to diagnosis. But the sooner you can get to diagnosis, the better you do. With Parkinson's disease, the best thing you can do for it is to reproduce the dopamine in your brain. So exercise is the number one thing for Parkinson's disease. So exercise every day, as we all should. But especially like boxing is really great. There's a program called Rock Steady Boxing. That's really great. It's like this crossing of the brain cells, dance, but really anything, any kind of exercise. So the sooner you get diagnosed, the sooner you can get reproducing that dopamine in your brain. So there's also medications and then something called deep brain stimulation that it's kind of further down the line. But as far as getting diagnosed, it can be an interesting road.
Great. So what kind of services does your organization have available for people with Parkinson's? What do you guys do?
Yeah, the part about Parkinson's is there's so many pieces and parts. So there's the medical part of it. There's the social support aspect of it. There's the exercise part of it, pharmacologists. There's an individual with Parkinson's and their family members really needs a team of support around them. What we do is we provide the social support aspect of it. So we have support groups, community groups. We have 48 throughout Northern California, quite a few in the Sacramento Valley region. Each group is unique and separate. Some of them do education, some of them do speakers, some of them just do support. We also have groups for care partners. We do an annual conference each year in the fall, and it's actually the largest one in the country. We have about 800 people attend. It's in Roseville every year, and it's just incredibly inspirational, educational. It's a full day event. Everybody who goes just loves it. I've had a long career in nonprofits, and it's probably one of the most rewarding things that I do is work on this project with our board of directors. It's pretty incredible. We also do respite grants for family members. A lot of family members who are caring for a loved one, it's a full-time job. It can be a 24/7 job. And sometimes that person, the care partner, needs to have some self-care, go to a doctor's appointment, want to play around at golf. We do some grants for those individuals through the Caregiver Resource Center so that they can bring somebody out to your house and watch your loved ones so you can have some time off. So we do these $600 grants for that. And then we do other programs and services we teach exercise professionals how to work with people with Parkinson's disease because it's so unique and there's so many interesting symptoms that so many people don't know how to work with them. So we teach exercise professionals how to work with them. We're also building a program for care partners on how to care for your loved one with Parkinson's, and also one for like in-home care staff and for like senior care centers to teach their staff how to work with people with Parkinson's too.
Okay. So if people want to help, what can they do? What kind of help do you need, and how can people get involved?
Yeah, well, number one, we need funding, always nonprofit, and we need help. There's so much work to be done. There's so many people to help. So absolutely, you can get on our website and donate on our website. We're always looking for volunteers, especially for our conference. We need help. We would love more facilitators to do more support groups. We'll actually teach you how to do those. So yeah, you can just contact our office, and there's always plenty to do and plenty to help. But number one is funding and board members. We're always looking for like committee members and board members too. So
all right, so you need leadership, money, and people to provide resources, right?
Amen. Yeah, absolutely.
Any organization that wants to get something big done needs those things: money, yes, leadership, and ground troops, right?
I love it. Perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, good. So how do people contact you? What's your email or no, what's your website and a phone number to call?
Yeah, the website's www.pinktoday, P-A-N-C, like Parkinson Association Northern California, today.org. And our number is 916-357-6641. Our office manager, Sharon, is a gem. We can answer any question you have. We get questions from all over the world because there's very few organizations like ours. So if you have questions or where do I go, or I need help with my loved one, we can find you the resources. So give Sharon a call. And then we also have our email is pink@pinktoday.org. So go ahead and contact us that way too.
Great. Well, Jan Whitney, thank you very much for bringing this to our attention and sharing things. If you have any questions or comments for Jan, please let us know. We'll get them over to her. Thank you all for joining us. We at Laurel Bias Houses want to really support our community and provide resources for everyone. So please get involved. And thank you very much for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.